Hi, my name is Brianna Motzkus, and I'm from the Fabric Patch in Ephrata, Washington, and today we are doing month 6 of our Color Dance Block of the Month. Alright, this is the last block of Color Dance, and then next month we're going to get together and we're going to sew it into one fantastic, awesome quilt and talk about any kind of bumps in the road we might come into to get all of those blocks together. But pine tree. So we've got a cute little pine tree if you're doing the bright, or in your little shy colorway, our cute little pine tree. I think it's really cute. It goes together super fast. I wish we had more than one, but it's a super fun. You'll see as we put it together, you could easily make more, levels of branches to make it into a really cute table runner, hang it up as a wall quilt into its own little advent calendar. This block is really endless. We are going to make it to fit our quilt, but you'll see you can definitely adapt it to do something really cool in your own home. Okay, so this is going to be a big block. It's going to finish at 14.5 inches wide by 24. So we might have to see this in a little bit of segments. But you'll see all of these pieces. You've got your rectangles. You've got these are like our faux goose blocks is essentially what we're doing. So you'll see here, the very top of our tree is a traditional goose unit block. And then all we're doing as we're going down our trees, we're just stretching that a little bit more. And stretching it a little bit more, which is super cool. It gives you that whole tier effect going on. So you'll of course follow your instructions. They're going to tell you that you need a 3.5 by a however long rectangle and a whole bunch of 3.5-inch background squares. And that's okay. And then we're going to make it as if we're making a goose unit. The one thing I do want to make sure that you remember when you're doing a goose block, so when you're sewing these together, they are sewn the exact same way that we make an original goose unit. The only difference is where our background squares aren't connecting on the point except for this very top of your tree. So it's important just to make sure that your line is going from the bottom corner is pointed still towards the center of your strip, because you'll see that will create a wedge, whereas if you did it this way, again, it will be more like a ribbon. So just be aware when you're sewing on your pieces, you're still pointing the same direction. You're still pointing to a center. They're just not going to interlock, because again, we want that option of, pine boughs is what we're kind of going for. So when you layer it, you're going to start, of course, with your trunk with some background going on. And then we'll have, your 14-inch pieces going on. We'll have one more. He's going to be sewn on there. I'm just going to lay him down so you can see him. I'm going to scoot him down. Again, he's going to be almost 25 inches tall. And then we're going to have this guy and this guy. So they look a little funny, but you'll see as you are cutting your background, you're going to have some other little strips going on. These are what's going to go into here to make them, I'm missing a little one, but you're missing one right here. But as you sew them together, you'll see that they'll slowly come back together. Now, if anything happens and you have sewn on both of your background pieces and it's still not big enough, what I would say is there was just an error on cutting this one. Heck, there could have been an error. Maybe you were a 1/2 inch short cutting this rectangle. Don't remake that piece. All you need to do, take off these guys and make that a little bit bigger. Even if you at the end of it need to trim that down to 14.5 inches, that's okay. But keep in mind it has to be centered, otherwise your tree will look a little crookedy, like the wind got the best of him. So make sure that if you do have to put in some bigger chunks here because it was cut up a little funny, this really doesn't matter as long as when you are trimming it, what you can do is, I'm going to show you a trick. When you are trimming this one, so let's say we're going to sew on a big 3-inch piece because something came up a little hokey. You can fold your piece in half. And when you're folded in half, if you make sure that your little diagonal lines kind of butt up, we know that this right here is center. center of our tree, which is important because if he's not center, he will look crooked. I'm just going to finger press in a crease. You can go to the iron and do that if you want to. And then that gives you a nice center point where you can measure 7 1/4 inches and trim. 7 1/4 inches and trim. And that will give you a 14 1/2 inch rectangle that will fit perfectly right here. No matter where our miscut came in. Even if our miscut came in right here, and maybe instead of being a 3 1/2 inch rectangle, he's only like a 3 inch rectangle, don't worry about that. We can fix that next month when we sew it all together. Nothing a little 1 1/2 inch black strip can help. All right, so you'll sew all of those guys together, and then it does have in your instructions a little border on the left and the right side to make it just a little bit wider, and you can do that. And then that's it. That is your pine tree. She goes together lickety split, but you can see also how fun it would be to even add more, make it a little bit longer, put some buttons on it, make it an advent calendar, or just a fun little door banner. All right, that was the last block we have to make, and then you should have all of your pieces. So in 2 weeks, we'll get together, have all of your blocks done. If you don't have all your blocks done, come hang out, see how we're gonna put it together, and we're gonna go, because you'll see, I'm a little disappointed on how they tell you. I mean, this is your last page. You've finished your pine tree, and then you get to this page of, okay, now put it all together. So we're gonna talk about, hopefully your blocks all come out perfect sizes, everything is perfect, and it'll come together just like that. We're gonna talk about if you need to add a little bit here, if your block didn't finish at 8 1/2 and it's only 8. We're gonna talk about some easy fixes we can do on our quilt to put it all together. So we're gonna talk about putting it together, putting on borders. It's a lot of fun to be had. So we've got one more. So get all your blocks done, work on that, and I'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll get it all together.
Thank you for watching our video. We invite you to leave a comment, hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. You can also visit our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest pages, or find all of those things and our online store at fabricpatch.net.